This is People Learn from That. And then I'll share with you another experience I had where I did use my father's, I did remember my father's lesson, and that's when I was in Texas. I was head of the School of Music at the University of Texas. I had gone to meet with a gentleman to ask him for some money for a scholarship for violin. He was head of a foundation, but he was an oil, he was the CEO of an oil company. He shook my hand, and literally, as I was lowering myself to my seat, he looked at me and he said, "I had no idea you were black." And my initial response was anger. And then I remembered what my father, I thought, just take a deep breath. And rather than leaving or getting angry, I just listened. And in the next sentence, he said to me, "Perhaps you can help me. My wife and I have been going to the Aspen Music Festival for 30 years, and we rarely see any black violinists. Why is that?" Great opportunity for me, right? And so I use this story as a cautionary tale with my mentees. Because, they're horrified when they hear the story. You mean you didn't get up and leave? Right? And so we have a conversation. But I, I, I use it as a cautionary tale because I also find in our society today that young people are much less willing to be forgiving when people make mistakes. And that's a problem if you're trying to develop relationships or have a conversation across difference. Because young people are going to make mistakes. So you have to be more forgiving, more humble. Okay, if someone does it 5 or 6 times, then you don't have to be humble. You need to call it out, right? But if it's 1 or 2 times, you need to be willing to push back, or I'll say just question the person. Do you realize what you just said? Let me parrot back to you what you just said, and then explain why that's offensive to me. People learn from that. Ronald Crutcher.